We have the Georgia Bulldogs getting ready for a noon kickoff at Sanford Stadium, and the man to lead them into the contest is head football coach at the University of Georgia, the boss dog, Kirby Smart, joining us here in the locker room on the Fan, 680 93.7 FM. Kirby, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man.
Coach, after the Bama game, you have looked at the film and you want to see improvements. Do you feel like after what you have seen and what your opinion is of your club right now, you need major changes or just minor corrections for the improvement you want to see?
I'm excited. I'm really coming out of the game like there's things we were able to do that we weren't able to do last year. We've improved in some of those areas. We got to execute at a little bit higher rate. We got to do a little bit better job. But the level of competition we played with Tennessee and Alabama has been good, and we got areas that we got to improve on, and we're going to do that against Kentucky.
One of the things, improvement from a year ago is the ability to run the ball against SEC competition, averaging over 200 yards a game against Tennessee and Alabama. What's been a change to help your running game this year?
We're probably a little more veteran at back. We've been healthy at back. We didn't have Trevor last year. The whole year he was hurt some of the time. That's helped. A commitment to it and really working at it on both sides of the ball. But I think more people are talking about the ability to run it. But our ability to stop the run has been better than it's been in the past. Where we've struggled has been third down. We got to do a better job really on both sides of the ball, but especially defensively on third down.
Coach, you've always implemented multiple backs in your scheme and offense. What's your philosophy on rotating guys versus riding one feature back?
I think we do that. When we have a guy that's hot and a guy that's really playing well, we tend to go with him. We had that choice last week with Chauncey and thought he was running the ball well, and he got more carries. He and Josh got more. We do have situational plays that you might call, we call tags, that are special plays that fit maybe one back's characteristics better than others. But both Chauncey and Josh were rolling last week, and so we gave them a little bit more.
Nate Frazier looks like he hits the top gear after the third step every time he has the ball. How do you keep him engaged and confident when he's sharing carries and he's had a couple of tough fumbles he's trying to work through?
You do that, just exact that. You work at it. You know, he gets confidence through what he does in practice, and he knows that. He knows that it's important that he gets the confidence he needs to go out and perform in the game in practice. So the more we can do for him in terms of intensity, game-like, that's stripping at the ball, but his have not come from strip-outs. That's what's unique. A lot of people give up fumbles on great defensive efforts and strip-outs. His have been hat on ball. When people tackle you low and they get the hat on the ball, that happens from time to time, and that's something he's got to correct.
University of Georgia head football coach Kirby Smart joining us here in the locker room on the Fan, 680 93.7 FM.
Coach, I know you were asked about this at the press conference about the 4th and 1 play that you guys decide to go for it and come up a little bit short instead of kicking a field goal. Is that a situation, and I know you talked about sequencing and how the play previous kind of set that one up. Was there anything maybe in hindsight now that you do differently, or was it just Alabama making a play to be able to come up with that tackle?
I think the sequencing portion, there was no sequencing. The sequencing is decision whether you're going to go for it or not. And staffs that are really prepared and on top of things, they make decisions before things actually happen. And that's exactly what we did. We did exactly what we talked about in preseason in those third and medium situations where we talked about going for it if we were 4th and 2 or less. And we were 4th and 2 or less. So we had already committed to going for it. And that is the right play there. And I love the decision to do it. You got to execute. It makes defenses really have to prepare and get lined up quickly, and if they don't, they pay a price for it. And in that situation, Alabama was not lined up correctly, and we didn't block our play correctly. So we have to execute at a higher level, and it's going to always be about what we do.
Gunnar Stockton's been executing at a really high level in the SEC game so far. What have you seen out of your quarterback that you really like a few weeks into the season?
Well, it's his toughness is probably the number one thing that's shown. He's been really tough. His ability to process, make decisions, quick decisions, get us in and out of plays, put us in and out of the right run play, declarations, we call it, meaning deciding who Mike points are and things in the passing game and in the running game have been really good. But he's got areas he can improve on, too. We've got to become a more explosive passing team. He knows that, and he's not solo on that, but that's everybody combined, O-line, tight ends, receivers, and backs all working together to do that.
Coach, you're one of the coaches, I believe, when you say you're not listening to the outside noise, you didn't see what happened on social media, I believe you. Lane Kiffin, probably not so much. He's probably a little bit more active. That being said, Mike Bobo is always first. to be criticized anywhere when something doesn't go the way of the Georgia Bulldogs. I don't know if you ever get that from people who do bring you the things from the outside noise. If you had a flat tire on the way to work, somebody would say, how come he didn't clear the road for you? What is your opinion of who and what he is to the program with his play calling and what he means to this offense?
Well, I think he's done a tremendous job, probably the best job he's ever done, to have 2 freshman offensive linemen, a new starter at quarterback that he's working through, a lot of new faces, a lot of young faces. I don't think it's about Mike Bobo. I think it's about University of Georgia and the offensive staff as a whole, putting together game plans of what we need to do to be more efficient. And we're constantly in search of a way to get better and get these guys better. And I think they've done that in the offseason to improve our offense. And at the end of the day, you got to take advantage of the opportunities you get. We didn't do enough of that Saturday, but like I said, I'm excited as hell about Kentucky because I think we got a team that's going to get better and better and better, especially with the youth we have out there.
Kentucky played you guys really tough a year ago. You were ultimately able to come up with a win. What challenges do the Wildcats present?
Well, their quickness, they're twitchy. They really got guys that can move up front. Defensively, they're disruptive. I mean, you watch them on tape and their movements and their scheme, and they drop people all over the place. You don't always know what they're doing. They create a little bit of a good disguise and mystery with it. Then offensively, they're extremely physical. They're committed to the run. They want to shrink the game. They got 2 really big backs. The O-line coach does a tremendous job in the run game, and we know it'll be physical.
To that point, right side of your offensive line has dealt with injury already, and guys have had to step up. How are you preparing your guys for that kind of line of scrimmage battle when Kentucky is going to treat this like the biggest game of the season like they always do?
Yeah, it's got to be the same for us, right? So for us, it's about execution, being physical at the point. We respect Kentucky. They're an SEC opponent, and they're really physical, and history has proven that to be the case.
Do you feel like this is a strength-on-strength game, your ability to stop the run, their ability to run the ball?
I mean, I think it's that way on both sides of the ball because they've got a really good physical defensive line and we got a really physical offensive line. So it's one of those things that it'll be interesting within game to see how both units are executing.
Where are you with your wide receiving core, Coach? We've seen some fantastic plays, some explosive plays. Did see, some drops as well. Where are you overall this far into the season with your assessment of your wide receiving core?
I'm really pleased. They've blocked really well on the perimeter, done great in the run game, continue to get explosive opportunities and take advantage of them. We got to make their layups, and that's what we talk about all the time is being ready when your number's called.
You had a night game this past week. The atmosphere was unbelievable. As a coaching staff, what's the kind of time frame getting into a noon kick as opposed to a night game? How much earlier do you have to get ready? How much more do you have to speed things up to try to be prepared for Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, it starts early in the week. It started Monday for us, preparing for Saturday and a noon kick. Mentally, you've got to be in the right mindset. It's completely different than the previous week. It starts really early, and it starts prior days to preparing yourself.
Do the players like it one way or the other? Do they ever say anything to you?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't ask. It's one of those things that I don't think they concern themselves with. We don't control it, so it's not like there's a preference per se.
Who do you ask for advice? A lot of people and where you are in your championship acumen, you always bring everywhere you are, whether you're public speaking or coaching on the sideline. Who do you ask for advice at this point in your career?
Well, it depends on what the advice is for, right? If I'm trying to figure out how to make mozzarella sticks, I'm going to ask somebody that knows how to do that. If I'm trying to figure out how to time manage, I'm going to probably ask another head coach. If I'm going to try to figure out how to stop a play, I'm going to talk to a defensive coordinator that I respect. If we're trying to figure out how to do a better job on special teams, I'm going to talk to somebody that's versed in that. I mean, I always want to get information from the expert at that topic.
I would advise you, if you're asking about mozzarella sticks, to ask Road Dog Adam Gillespie.
He looks like he enjoys them.
I would say either that or your athletic director, Josh Brooks, because Josh always talks about the food that he has.
He's a good cook.
I know. He talks about it all the time, too. I'm jealous because I can't cook.
Well, you cook things up on the football field many times. We're looking forward to that this week as well, and we always are appreciative of your time, Coach, and we look forward to catching up with you down the road.
Thank you, guys. Go Dogs.